We are streaming, podcasting, YouTube live, and Facebooking, doing the most here at KSAT News. Facebook Living. Yeah. So there are a ton of ways to get your bite-sized newscast, and again, every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m.
Yeah, so we have a lot to get to today. The latest on the search for the person responsible for killing a Houston constable, and a case out of the Valley that's received a lot of attention. You've probably heard about it. Two brothers who attacked their stepdad after their sister had said she was allegedly being abused by the stepdad.
Yeah, we got a lot of viewer reaction to that story, and we'll share some of that with you. And we also have a new park groundbreaking this morning. We actually just pushed that out on the KSAT News app, so I believe we had a live stream earlier. And more details this morning, Alicia, on the Cowboy Breakfast. They're having to do a little bit pivoting here.
Yeah, so Cowboy Breakfast, if you don't know, if you're new around the area, it's like the unofficial kickoff of the San Antonio rodeo season. And the big draw to that is the free tacos in the morning, but that's being reserved for a certain few.
Yes, so we will talk about that here in just a bit. Plus, Justin Horn, I specifically requested this. He's going to be talking about strange grass, some strange stuff going on with the Bermuda grass. This was a special request from Justin. I asked him for pigweed one time.
For him?
For Justin, yes. So, and he's also got maybe some chances of rain.
The meteorologists over there are just giggling in their corner.
Strange request here for Justin Horn. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll see that. But first, we want to start with that major update on the deadly ambush of Harris County Precinct 5 Constable's Office Corporal Charles Galloway. The capital murder suspect has been caught in Ciudad Acuña, Mexico. That's just right across the border from Del Rio, Texas. So that's not too far from here.
No, definitely not. 51-year-old Oscar Rosales is charged with capital murder in connection with the deadly shooting that happened Saturday morning. The arrest was made possible by the U.S. Marshals Service and the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force in cooperation with Mexican authorities.
So authorities had been searching for Rosales since Sunday morning. The constable was attempting to pull over the vehicle Rosales was driving, and as Galloway notified dispatch, investigators with the Houston Police Department say that body cam footage shows Rosales get out of his car with a rifle and fire multiple times at Galloway before getting back in his car and then driving away.
Yeah, and right there is Constable Galloway, and we're seeing pictures of the suspect in this case, Mr. Rosales. His wife and brother-in-law are also facing charges this morning. They were arrested earlier this week. They're accused of helping cover up the suspect's involvement. Again, 51-year-old Oscar Rosales.
The constable leaves behind a daughter and his sister. His funeral service have not yet taken place. And we talked about it, earlier this week, how it's been a tough weekend for Houston. They have lost 2 law enforcement officers, and then in Texas, 3 just in the last few days. Yeah,
and we will, and we've seen already some of his colleagues right there standing outside as he was getting taken to medical facilities there. So, but at least there is now an arrest in that case, and we will see what happens moving ahead.
All right, well, a story that has gotten a lot of attention. 2 brothers are in jail in Hidalgo County, so again, that's in the Valley, after being accused of beating their stepfather to death for allegedly abusing their 9-year-old little sister.
Yeah, a lot of reaction to this story, Alicia. 18-year-old Alejandro Trevino and 17-year-old Christian Trevino, those are 2 brothers, and their friend, 18-year-old Juan Melendez, are accused of beating 42-year-old Gabriel Quintanilla and leaving him for dead in a field in McAllen.
According to the local station there, KRGV-TV, police reported that a minor, later identified as Quintanilla's daughter, made an outcry about being inappropriately touched by Quintanilla at an RV park.
The brothers fought with Quintanilla, this is according to police, at the RV park, and then beat him again at an apartment complex. So there are multiple scenes here. They put his body in the bed of a truck and then dumped him into that field. And again, this is all according to police reports.
All 3, of course, facing charges, and police said Quintanilla had an arrest warrant for sexually abusing another child, which is just even more heart-wrenching when it comes to the abuse side of things.
Right, and this
case
case obviously getting a lot of attention. We're seeing some viewer reaction here now. Some people saying that they agree, saying that they should be punished to the fullest, but then some other people saying that, it was not murder, it was them protecting a little sister. And so again, we're seeing some reaction here. This is to an article that we have on KSAT.com. And then this person here at the bottom, Alec, responding, saying that no matter what you say, they are certainly heroes to their sister.
So I wanted to read a comment that we received on KSAT's Instagram account. And this is Zaira Jimena. She commented, "I know it's not right, but neither is what he did." And to set, she's just commenting that two wrongs don't make a right. And unfortunately, this adds trauma to the entire family, because not only have now these two teens, the brothers, yes, they were trying to stand up for the sister, but now they're mourning several losses here.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
I
So
mean,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of layers to get through. Again, there were multiple crime scenes that I think police are still trying to figure out everything that goes on. Maybe talk to the brothers and try and get some information as to what may have been going on in that household before this all happened. So again, it's a tough situation. A lot of people commenting though on our website, and a lot of people have definitely had a lot of interest in this case.
And this was brutal, a brutal death. But I wonder, the DA, are they going to be looking into that, seeing if charges could be dropped or lessened, or taking into account everything that happened behind the scenes, with the family and with that 9-year-old girl. And then perhaps we're going to find out more details about the other minor that this man, now deceased, Quintanilla, was hurting.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, Alicia, moving on here outside of Texas, now to the latest in a terrible situation off the coast of Florida. A body was found, and the search is continuing this morning across part of the Atlantic Ocean for 38 people missing from a capsized boat.
So behind us, you see the boat. The search started Tuesday after a man hanging to a capsized boat was found by sailors on a passing barge. The man told authorities the 25-foot boat sailed on Saturday night from the Bahamas, but they ran into bad weather. He also told the Coast Guard that no one, unfortunately, had a life jacket on.
We often rely on sometimes heroic acts of good Samaritans operating in the marine environment, and this case is no exception. We're deeply grateful that that mariner located the survivor in this case and saved his life, and then called us so that we could continue to search for survivors. It is dire. The longer they remain in the water without food, without water, exposed to the marine environment, the sun, the sea conditions, it is every moment that passes, it becomes much more dire and unlikely that anyone could survive in those conditions.
All right, that was Coast Guard officials kind of updating the situation, and they said it's a very dire situation. Apparently, this is the size of New Jersey, this area that they're searching in. They have responded, obviously looking for any signs of anyone that may have survived this capsized incident. Officials say that they do believe that this was a case of human smuggling, though.
So migrants have long used the island of the Bahamas as a way to reach Florida. And they typically try to take advantage of the breaks in the weather to make that crossing. But these small boats, they're dangerously overloaded and prone to capsizing, which is exactly what we're seeing here. So we expect to find out more details in the coming hours, coming days.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tough, terrible situation out there off the coast of Florida. Well, Lisa, this morning in COVID news, experts say the highly contagious Omicron variant, oh man, has a cousin.
There's family now. Oh man.
But they also say that it isn't really, no need to panic right now at the moment.
So the new cousin, it's called Omicron BA.2, and although it is said to already be spreading, it's expected to remain relatively mild when we talk about the symptoms.
Yeah, and according to an infectious disease specialist at the Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, this is Dr. Jacob Lemieux, currently cases of BA.2 are on the rise in the Philippines, India, Denmark, and South Africa, but apparently there's some cases here in the U.S. as well, including Texas.
And just yesterday, Pfizer announced they're working on a variant-specific vaccine. This is for the Omicron variant, and Texas Biomed is also said to be creating variant-specific COVID-19 treatments, which is probably going to be something that we start seeing more of, because the new family members variants, if you will.
I know, and it's I mean, you said it earlier, it's like, oh no, here we have a cousin coming in, or just a different strain, different variant, and I think it makes sense for them to sort of target some of these individual strains, because it seems like we've seen with Omicron, it just spread a lot quicker than Delta did.
And usually people want to know exactly what variation of COVID-19 they have because of the symptoms and how to treat them. So
yeah.
A cousin, BA.2.
The family's coming in. Yeah, the family here.
Well, COVID has definitely changed a lot of plans, and that includes the annual Cowboy Breakfast, the unofficial launch of the rodeo, and it was postponed to the public for the second year in a row. So if you like getting in line for free tacos at 3, 4 in the morning, then Probably really bummed about this.
Yes, and we mentioned it earlier, but thousands of people do line up for this. You can see the video behind me.
We're there every year.
Yes.
Justin has said it in the past. If you're a reporter covering that, it's like a rite of passage.
Oh, yeah.
Here in the KSAT 12 newsroom.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get thrown out to cover the Cowboy Breakfast, but it's always a good time out there, and you could see they make hundreds of tacos out there, sausage, everything, eggs, the whole deal there. So this is kind of, it's a bummer that they are postponing this again, but organizers still planning ways to honor San Antonio police and firefighters this year.
So reps from both department precincts can pick up some free grub this Friday morning, the day that the Cowboy Breakfast was supposed to be held to the public. Again, it's not canceled, it's just downsized and for a specific group. Yeah,
just mostly closed off to the public there. So the cooking and pickup will take place this Friday morning at St. Philip's College. So they're still getting out there. I have covered it, yes.
Yeah,
One of the
I would
first...
hope. How many years have you worked here?
It's been a little while, yeah. And actually, I did it when I was
how many years have you worked
in the
here,
digital
RJ?
department. Oh, 10 plus years? Yeah, so I remember going out there really early. Yeah, I remember going out there really early on, and yeah, it really kind of tripped me out, honestly, to see like the amount of people that just went out there. But again, good times. They had music out there. The whole deal.
It's a party. Yeah. So in our newsroom, at least, if you work the morning shift, so for the 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. newscast, you clock in at 3:30 a.m. So it's a rough schedule. It's a rough lifestyle to keep up working for the morning show. But I do admit that even in the last few years, I had volunteered myself to wake up that early because it's a party. It's a good time. Yeah, we actually, the last time I was there, they had a proposal at the Cowboy Breakfast because I believe that's where the couple had met or something like that.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to check in on them and see if they already had the wedding.
Yeah. Tacos, proposals, the whole deal. But yeah, unfortunately, again, off to the public this year, but they're doing some good stuff there for firefighters and police officers in our area. And speaking of a party, major change underway at Hemisphere. All right, minutes ago, city leaders and Hemisphere officials broke ground on Civic Park at Hemisphere. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it's already so beautiful, but it will be even more so in the next few years. The project will include a lawn for events and a shaded promenade, and I didn't know I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Promenade? Promenade? See, I think it's promenade.
Promenade?
Yeah.
Promenade. Well, I Googled it because millennial, and from what I saw, it's a walkway. So they're getting a new shaded walkway. That's what's in the works. Yeah, there you go. There's the what is it? Promenade. 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 Yes. I don't. Maybe that's French. I'm not sure. Usually I ask how to pronounce these words that. Yeah. Justin's giggling in the background. He is, definitely. So the project will be split into two phases. Phase 1 was approved last month by City Council, but it was several years ago that voters approved a portion of the funding as part of the 2017 municipal bond. And then Phase 2, that's still pending 2022 bond funding, but that's a much smaller size I saw on the map. Yeah. They have it color-coded there. Did you know what a promenade was? I knew that it was like a covering. I'm totally honest. I'm never dishonest. But it's not a covering because then it's shaded kind of like a little covering type of walk through or something like that. But no, it's a walkway. No. You know why I knew that? Because I know that a lot of outdoor malls have sort of like that little shaded sides. The link in Vegas, Alyssa, chime in. Okay. Justin? I didn't know it because of that. Justin, did you know what a promenade was?
I didn't know the exact definition, but I feel like I've learned a lot just within the last 30 seconds.
Thank you. And at least you knew, I mean, you had a bigger one. You knew how to pronounce it. So
yes, I feel very good about it.
Yes.
So we heard that our RJ here had a very interesting request.
I did.
Right?
Well, I posted this to Instagram yesterday, and let me be very specific. We're talking about Bermuda grass here.
Bermuda grass.
Bermuda grass. And this was in my backyard. I always found this fascinating this time of year. You see these kind of patterns in the grass, and you still have some green left in here. It kind of looks like camouflage, right?
Yeah.
I always wonder what caused this. I did a little bit of research, and it's the rhizome. I think I'm saying that. Rhizomes that are kind of like the stems that go underground, and then they have new growth, and not all of them die after it freezes. So you get these kind of weird patterns in the grass. Anyway, I found it fascinating. RJ was very intrigued by it all.
I love Justin. He's a big tree guy. I'm always getting information from him on the palm trees from last year's winter storm.
RJ, curious George, curious RJ.
There we go.
You always wonder about things, and then you got to Google them. So
good stuff.
All right. I wouldn't. We got to ask a question. We're not gonna.
I love this part
asking
though.
a question. So you guys were talking about Cowboy Breakfast.
Boom.
What year was the coldest San Antonio stock show in rodeo? Your choices are 1955, 1983, 2021, or 2011. And keep in mind, the stock show in rodeo didn't start until 1950. Okay.
Okay, that
So there are
doesn't
your
eliminate
choices.
any of those
I know.
answers
Well,
there.
I'm going to guess first.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say C, 2021. I remember Valentine's Day.
Fair enough.
It was super cold.
Okay, I think, man, wow. Okay, I'm gonna go 2011.
Okay.
2011.
It was 2021. This is not a
Oh
trick
my
question.
God.
This is just based.
She cheated.
She was right on.
She was looking at the question.
This is just based on my own research. Okay, it's usually rodeos usually held like second, third week.
The graphic literally reads, by my own research, some events canceled
by ice and snow. Obviously, there was COVID playing into that too, but yeah, the temperatures got down to like 9 degrees. Okay, that was in the midst of the rodeo. If you remember last year, they did have to cancel some events.
Okay. See, I was getting a little confused with the COVID year because did we even have the rodeo?
Yeah,
There
they've
was-
had
there
it.
was
It
some
was just
events.
scaled,
Okay.
scaled
Scaled
down.
back.
Okay.
It does get
Good stuff
confusing.
here.
to
RJ
be
isn't
fair.
a rodeo guy.
You're crack research here, Justin. You got
I'm
this.
trying, man. I'm trying. Let's go outside for you. We got cloudy skies right now. 49 degrees at the airport. Easterly winds at about 11 miles per hour. We still have a wind chill. It feels pretty cool out there. 44 is what it feels like at this hour. Now, the clearing line, this is going to be important today. Yesterday it was important. That clearing line was right over San Antonio. We're kind of in the same boat again today. It's cleared in New Braunfels, but here over San Antonio is still cloudy. It'll be very slow to move, this clearing line, but it should move west a little bit, and we're hoping to see some sun here in San Antonio a little bit later today. In the meantime, those clouds are locking in the cold air. 49 San Antonio, 52 Uvalde, 54 Carrizo Springs. Even where we are seeing some sun, it's not all that warm. 49 Gonzales, 54 Kennedy, 53 in Victoria. Here's what we're thinking as far as forecast temperatures go today. 57 here in town. It'll be a little bit cooler in the hill country, 40s underneath some cloud cover. And then tonight, clouds fill back in. Tomorrow will be a cloudy day, so we're still talking mid-50s here. But if you're hoping for a warm up and more sun, we have it in the forecast this weekend. The weekend looks awesome. Very quickly, though, I do got to show you that we have some wintry weather up across the Texas Panhandle. There are winter weather advisories there, snow flying in places like Lubbock and in Amarillo and parts of Oklahoma. So just a heads up. Forecast. 57 degrees today, 55 Thursday, 56 Friday. We will get a chance for some showers Thursday night into early Friday morning. It's a small window. We don't expect much rain. And I mentioned the weekend. 63 Saturday, 67 Sunday, and sunny. Another small chance of rain early on Monday, maybe some showers and a few storms, and then it warms up from there. So this February, this start to February at least, looks a lot warmer than what we were dealing with last year.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Thank goodness for
indeed.
that.
Yeah, definitely an understatement there. And it seems like, I know you guys have been talking that we do need the rain, so it'd be good to definitely get that coming in here.
We desperately need
But
the
we
rain.
need
And-
more than this.
And I don't think Thursday night, Friday morning is going to do much for us. Maybe a little bit more Sunday night, early Monday morning, but even then, we're very much in a drought. We need a lot more than that.
I'd be interested to know exactly like how many days of consecutive rain we would need in order to.
Well, here's the problem in South Texas. This is what happens. We go through drought, and then it takes one event, and we get flooding, and then it turns things around. But that's kind of how it goes here. It's feast or famine.
Well, Justin, thank you so much.
You got
Always
it.
Appreciate
knowledgeable,
it.
man.
Yep.
Bermuda grass, knowledge, everything.
Mix it all in there.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
So we want to go back to,
Yes.
we started off, one of the first stories that we talked about is the one out of the Hidalgo
Valley.
County, McAllen, the Valley area. We have some comments here on Facebook. Eliza, right? Eliza Flores commented in part, had this been your child being molested, you would feel differently. I commend the brothers for standing up for their little sister. And then we have Katrina Sosby commenting there in part saying the system has failed many, many times when it comes to cases of children being abused physically, sexually. So I do not feel that they, the brothers, are wrong for taking matters into their own hands. So again, a very and this is to expect. You're talking about a crime very serious, a serious crime of molesting a child, sexually abusing a child, the trauma that comes with that, not only for the child, but the family involved. It's horrid. but then add this to it.
Yeah, and I think Katrina brings up a good point here just about the system. We see a lot of these cases where, we've covered different similar things where a child is abused, and you see a lot of times that there were some missteps along the way, things fell through the cracks.
I mean, this man had a warrant for his arrest for the same crime.
Yeah. So,
for a different child.
That's true. A lot of people commenting about this, so we appreciate you guys commenting about any of these topics. We know that sometimes some of these stories are a little bit lighter, sometimes they're a little bit heavier, but we appreciate everyone that takes the time out to share their thoughts with us, and we always try and give some of that, some of those viewer comments back to everyone. So I think we're good here.
Yeah.
Hump day.
Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I hope you have a great Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week. I can't wait for the weekend.
Yeah, you guys have a great Wednesday.
We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.